Welcome to the Non-Negotiable Living podcast, where we're building lives by design by creating non-negotiable habits around fitness, family, faith, and financial freedom.
Welcome back to Non-Negotiable Living. I'm Ashley, and today we're deep diving into a topic that affects every single one of us, and it's habit formation. So why is building new habits so challenging? And how long does it really take for a behavior to become automatic? And what strategies can we employ to start making lasting changes in our lives? We're going to explore these questions and dive into the psychology behind habit formation. So whether you're aiming to adopt a new healthier lifestyle, boost your productivity, or develop a new skill, understanding the mechanics of a habit is crucial. So let's jump in on this journey and uncover the science and strategies behind habit building. So first off, let's talk about why habit building is hard and it takes time. Habits are the invisible architecture of our daily lives. They shape our actions and ultimately our identities and the outcome of our lives. So why is it so difficult to establish new habits? We fall into something called the habit loop. At the core of habit formation lies the habit loop. So what happens is the loop consists of three components. There's the cue, which is a trigger that initiates the behavior. There's the routine, which is the behavior itself. And there's the reward, which is the benefit you gain from the behavior that reinforces the habit loop. So understanding this loop is essential because it explains why certain behaviors come automatic over time. However, when we alter or establish new loops, it requires a conscious effort and consistency. So how long does it take to form a habit? I'm sure you guys have heard it 1,000 times that it takes 14 days or 21 days to form a new habit. However, research actually indicates that on average it takes 66 days for a new behavior to become automatic. But in all honesty, if you look at the studies based on the number of people, it actually ranges anywhere from 18 to 254 days, depending on the complexity of the behavior and individual differences. So this variability highlights that habit formation is not a one-size-fits-all process, and factors such as behavior complexity, individual lifestyle, and environmental cues can play a significant role on whether or not you get into a habit more quickly. And there are several psychological factors that contribute to the difficulty of building new habits. First is that there's immediate gratification. Humans are wired to seek immediate rewards, and new habits often require a delay in gratification, which makes them harder to adopt, especially if you are trying to lose weight or get stronger, build muscle, develop habits in the gym. It's not like we go to the gym and we lift weights one day and all of a sudden we look incredible. It's not like we follow a calorie deficit for 3 days and we lose 10 pounds. If it was like that, everybody would do it. It's the fact that it takes time that makes people quit. Also, fear of discomfort is a big psychological barrier for most. New behaviors can push us out of our comfort zone. It leads us to resistance. And people will often say, I can't do this. I can't do this. It's like, yes, you can. You're just new at this. It's uncomfortable. It's not something you're used to. We are all capable of these things. But new behaviors push us out of those comfort zones, and we often shut down or quit. Also, forming new habits creates an identity crisis and conflict in a lot of people. If a new habit doesn't align with the self-perception of who you've been, your friend group, what they do, then you're less likely to adopt it. We see this a lot in families where somebody's trying to break free of unhealthy habits, eat better food, track their macros, lose weight, be the first person in their family to not be obese. There's going to be resistance, both from the people in your family who want to hold you back because they don't want to be the only one who's not healthy. You're also going to get people who are going to tell you, you're crazy, you can't do this. And also, your brain might tell you you're not capable of this. If every person in your family has always been overweight, your brain's going to default to the idea that I'm always going to be overweight. So when we have those identity conflicts, we have to shift our perspective on our identity so that we can break free of that self-perception that links us to old habits. But we have to recognize these barriers as the first step in order to overcome them. So let's dive into 5 approaches to building habits that are very effective. We need to start with small habits. So we need to begin with a behavior that's easy. If it's impossible, we're not going to do it. So for example, if we want to start exercising, we can commit to just walking every day to start. If you want to start lifting weights, it can just be 1 day a week to start. So this approach leverages the principle that consistent small actions can lead to significant transformations over time. The problem is people say, I want to get healthy. And I say, okay, what does that mean to you? They say, well, I need to start lifting 5 days a week and running 3 days a week and doing yoga, taking supplements and sleeping more and drinking a gallon of water and cold plunging and sitting in the sauna. And they try and change everything at once. They upheave their whole life, and 3 days later they quit because it didn't fit their lifestyle. It didn't make sense, and they tried to change too much at once. That's not the approach we should be taking. We should be taking small incremental steps over time. So if a client comes to me and says, Ashley, I'm not exercising at all, I just need to get started, I'll ask them, are you comfortable with starting to work out? How many days a week do you want to start? And we will build from there. I'm never going to ask somebody to do something they're not comfortable with, because there's no way that they're going to jump all in and start the habits. Now, that being said, I've had clients come to me who had zero exercise in their life, and we literally start with 10 minutes of walking a day or a few days a week just to get them moving. The next approach is habit stacking. It involves pairing a new habit with an existing one. And by linking that new behavior to a current routine, you create a strong cue for the desired action you're after. So for instance, if you brew your coffee every morning, that's your existing habit, you can meditate for 1 minute while you drink your coffee. Or if you brush your teeth every morning, which hopefully everybody does, you can stick your affirmations on a sticky note on the mirror and read them right after you brush your teeth. So we're pairing something new with something we do every day. This often can be really beneficial for people who commute. So if you have long drives, you can start listening to audiobooks or affirmations or devotionals. If you tend to watch TV at night, you can get a walking pad and walk on your walking pad. If you're on a lot of meetings throughout the day, you can get a walking pad and walk while you talk. There's a lot of things that we can habit stack together that are going to make life a little bit easier when it comes to implementing new habits. But this method capitalizes on the current neural pathways that you already have established for those existing habits to make it easier to adopt the new ones. Another way to make habit building easier is to make it attractive. Enhance the appeal of the new habit by associating it with a positive experience or reward. This can involve combining the new behavior with something you enjoy and framing it in a way that highlights its benefits. For example, if you want to start jogging, you can pair it with listening to your favorite podcast or a book. Or if you want to start walking more, you can pair it with meeting up with a friend to do that thing. Or maybe you walk to your local coffee shop to get your daily coffee. We also have to make it easy when we can. If we can simplify the process of habit formation, we will reduce the friction that we experience in the process. So this means making the desired behavior as effortless as possible. So you can prepare your workout clothes the night before, or keep healthy snacks available wherever you are to streamline the habit formation. For example, in the beginning when people start my program and they're struggling to get enough food in and hit their protein goals, I'll often tell them, get pre-made protein shakes, get protein bars, get cheese sticks, prepackaged yogurts and cottage cheeses. Make it easy, make it something that you can just grab and go. You don't have to prep, you don't have to think about. That way when push comes to shove, you default to the healthy new habit rather than the old ones. Also, we need to track our progress. Monitoring our habits increases our self-awareness and accountability, and habit tracking can be as simple as marking an X on a calendar every day you complete the behavior. Sometimes it's having an app to mark off your workouts and your steps and track your macros. That's what we do in my program, and how our platform works is it gives you those visual cues and it gives you that satisfaction of tracking your progress to help encourage the habit. This visual representation of your progress is really powerful as a motivator to maintain consistency. And implementing any of these 5 strategies requires patience and persistence. So remember, the goal is consistent improvement, not perfection. If we can get 1% better every day, that's the goal. And keep in mind, you can implement all 5 of these strategies at once. It doesn't have to just be one. We have to simplify and make it as easy as possible to achieve our goals. And the more positive things that we can link to it, the more successful we're going to be. Also, accountability is a crucial element in habit formation. So here are some methods to keep yourself accountable and on track. The first one is having accountability partners. If you share your goals with friends and family, they can provide that external motivation. And regular check-ins with your accountability partner can help you stay committed and address challenges as they arise. Also, if you make a public commitment, so declaring your intentions publicly, whether it's on social media or with a community group, it can actually increase your commitment to the habit due to the social pressure, which isn't always the best way to approach things, but if it helps you, great. I know that this works a lot for my clients who want to do 5Ks or 10Ks. They'll announce that they signed up for something and that they're going to start training, and that really does help keep them accountable to themselves. Getting professional guidance is always a helpful thing to do. So seeking support from a coach or a mentor that can provide not only personalized strategies, but a blueprint and feedback to help increase your commitment and enhancing that habit-forming effort. Self-reflection is also really powerful. So if we regularly assess our progress and reflect on what's working and what's not, this introspection allows us to adjust our strategies and reinforce our commitment to the habit. We also have to remember that setbacks are a natural part of the process, and the key is to acknowledge them, learn from them, continue, and move forward. Building new habits is undeniably challenging and time-consuming, but the journey is worth the undertaking. And by understanding the psychology behind habit formation and employing effective strategies, you can transform your behaviors and ultimately change your entire life. So we have to focus on small, consistent actions that lead to remarkable results over time. But we have to embrace the process, and we have to be patient with ourselves and understand that, some days it's going to be 2 steps forward and 1 step back as we develop these new habits, as we create this new identity, as we commit to this new person that we're going to be. But thank you for joining me for this deep dive into habit formation. If this was helpful for you, please share it with somebody else. And remember, to change our lives, we have to change our daily actions. So until next time, keep striving for the best version of yourself and getting 1% better each day. You guys got this.